Thinking about launching a podcast but overwhelmed by all the moving parts? At Turnkey Podcast Productions, we take the hassle out of podcasting so you can focus on the talk, not the tech. From concept to launch, guest booking to post-production, we handle everything. Need a strategy to grow your show and turn guests into clients? Yep, we do that too. DIY or done for you, we've got the solution that fits. Whether you're just getting started or ready to scale, Turnkey is your behind-the-scenes podcast team. Turnkey Podcast Productions. Your voice, your message, fully produced. Learn more at turnkeypodcast.com/contact. That's turnkeypodcast.com/contact.
Here's what you get with this episode of The Nice Guys on Business.
If you're an actor, you go to the audition. If you're a dancer, you go to your dance class, right? And you get the job. But it's all about the process. It's the process of it, right? It's the bulk of the work of a dancer, yes, comes when you have a dance job, but that's not where the work happens. The work happens in the dance class. The work happens at the bar, BARRE. That's where the work happens. The work for the actor doesn't happen it doesn't happen just in the audition room. It happens in all the preparation and all the acting classes you're going to and the voice classes you're going to. And so it's all about the journey of getting to where you want to be, but you have to enjoy the process of it because it's just as important as the destination.
Oh yeah, I know who I am. I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as the nice guys on business. Go from where you are now to where you could be. Get expert tips to grow your business, to be more productive and more efficient, whether you're trying to build influence, grow your community, or make it rain. Best-selling author of Nice Guys Finish First, Doug Sandler, can lead the way. The Nice Guys on Business is produced by Turnkey Podcast Productions. Now, here's your host, Doug Sandler.
All right, Nice Guy community, welcome back. We are in for a double treat today, as it's not every day I get to share the stage with my daughter, Rachel Sandler, co-host for today's interview. A quick note before we dive in, Rachel knows the world of Broadway musical theater professional production far better than I do. She's a JMU grad with her master's from Peabody, but what really sets her apart is her deep passion for production and her drive as she continues to build her career in the Big Apple. Rachel, I'll hand it over to you. Welcome to the Nice Guys, Rachel.
Thanks so much for having me. So today's guest lives where creativity meets capital and where bright lights meet the iconic Broadway stage. Brian Anthony Moreland is a 4-time Tony Award-nominated Broadway producer and, at his core, an entrepreneur operating in the heart of New York City's theater district. He is a visionary who manages massive risk while delivering groundbreaking results in an industry where success is far from guaranteed. Brian's productions have broken box office records because behind the curtain is a sharp business mind who understands creative vision, audience psychology, and leadership. Today's conversation explores theatrical storytelling, lessons in success, and what it takes to manifest bold ideas when the lights are bright and the stakes are real. Brian, welcome to the Nice Guys on Business.
Hi, thanks for having me.
We are so excited to have you. And as a Broadway lover and fellow industry person myself, I'm so excited to chat with you today.
Oh, well, likewise. I'm very, very excited about this. I love this podcast. So I'm very, very much looking forward to this.
Oh,
Rachel, that means he's had a couple of chances to listen to it, and he still showed up today, Rachel. So we're
so it sounds like we're off to a really good start.
For sure.
So, Brian, we'd love to know, for listeners who may be new to your work, how did you first find your way into producing on Broadway?
I found it in a very circuitous way. I happened to be in a dance class one day, and I came on the other side of my dance class, and Debbie Allen was there. And that particular class, she offered me a job. And that job was a line producing job with her and Otis Salid on a concert. And I loved it. Absolutely loved it. And I stayed. I gave up my performing career and just stayed. I found myself really drawn to the logistics of putting people together, creating spaces where people can thrive artistically. And I've been doing it ever since.
That's amazing. I think that if you ask most producers on Broadway, you would know better than me. Do you find that most producers started in some sort of other area of theater and then found their way into producing?
Yes. I would actually say that. Literally, when I was transitioning from performing to producing, I took up I call it my day job at the time. I was a dresser. I was ironing and working backstage in the theaters. And so I've literally worked in almost every capacity inside the buildings that I now produce in.
That's amazing. And that's so helpful as a producer to really understand from the other side of the table, what it's
Mhm.
like. Because producers, I mean, I'd love for you to tell our audience a little bit about that, but producers really oversee the entirety of a production. Is that right?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, even though we call this thing Broadway, like Broadway is comprised of like 41 individual buildings, we just all happen to align ourselves with the name Broadway, but we're all individual businesses operating inside these theaters. And basically, as the producer, if you think of it as a startup, I am the CEO and founder of a company. And basically, I find the show, I build a budget with the general manager, I am responsible for raising that money. I sign my name to the SEC. My taxes are crazy. We open the accounts and basically come up with a marketing plan and company, cast, creative, the whole thing, soup to nuts. And then we bring on co-producers, which help us actually like fundraise for the production. But the day-to-day is done by the lead producer, which is me.
Can I ask a question there? Because maybe this is speaking from an ignorance perspective, but is there actually that you can go to school for musical theater? Can you go to school for musical production? Is there a business side of theater that you can actually take courses and things?
There isn't one where you can come out with a degree that says you can be a producer. So usually it's exactly as Rachel said, it's usually a second, third, or fourth career for people. I never thought to myself of waking up one day and saying, gosh, I want to be a producer. It's something that people literally fall into,
Mm.
or they've learned from someone else and they go, oh, great, I'm going to do that. Like I didn't even know that was a possibility.
Interesting.
Yeah, I would imagine if you asked every lead producer on Broadway how they got to where they are, they would tell you a completely different story.
You're absolutely correct. Everyone has a different story of how they came to it, whether it's a second career for them. They used to be an investor and then they decided to like no longer invest, but actually like create the work, generate the work. Sometimes they've come from the performing background. Sometimes they become from someone who's from society and like they decide to like re-enter society. All walks of life.
Well, you started yours with Debbie Allen. I think that's a pretty good starting foundation, right? That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's amazing. Brian, can you explain to us a little bit how a Broadway producing team is structured?
Very good question. Layered question, but very good question. So it starts with a producer, a lead producer, like myself. And usually what happens is that I will have work that I find really interesting or work that I want to bring forward. Like for example, right now I'm doing August Wilson's Joe Turner's Come and Gone. And this particular work, I was in a conversation with Denzel Washington. We knew that the next play was going to be Joe Turner's Come and Gone. The next thing to do was bring on a director. We called Debbie Allen. Debbie Allen said yes to being a director. Then it was great. Who's going to be in it? So our next call was to a casting director, which was Duncan Stewart and Jared Reich over at ARC Casting. And then we hired the cast. Then it was our general manager. Then it was our production lawyer drafting our contracts. And then we went to the theater owner and said, I have Taraji P. Henson and Cedric the Entertainer and Debbie Allen as a director. May I have a building? And Bob Wankel, who's the president and CEO of the Schubert organization, said yes.
Wow.
And now we have a building. We have the Barrymore Theater.
That is amazing, and it looks like Nice Guy Community. Just so you know, we'll put a link in the show notes. Joe Turner's Come and Gone begins performances on March 30th with an official opening night set for April 25th. That's 2026. If you're listening this way after, it's already happened. So, and it's still playing right now. If it hasn't happened yet, then it will be happening on those two dates.
Perfect.
Fabulous.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, so Brian, I'd love to hear a little bit about what it means to you to be the only Black lead producer on Broadway in an industry where diversity in producing leadership roles is still so limited.
You know, it's a really fascinating position. It's not something I think about every single day of my life. Like I put one foot in front of the other, but it's definitely something that's meaningful. It's impactful. I think about it more when someone asks me that and identifies the fact that I'm the only one. And by only one, let me just be more clear for it. By only one, when you have multiple producers on a production, someone has to be financially responsible. Someone has to be the one to approach the theater owner and hold the actual contracts. So that's me. I'm the only one doing that for right now. But it's a significant, I hate to say honor. it is an honor to be in a room, but it's also significant to hold the door open for other people and to drop a ladder down so somebody else can climb up and sit in those seats and sit in those rooms and help make those decisions to make theater better and make it more equitable. Because I think that when we're all sitting at the table together, usually the tables get wider, the food gets better, and everyone eats. So it's just, widen the table so we have better food.
I like a lot of New York food.
Yes.
Very specifically.
Yes. I think theater behind the scenes should look like New York City or should look like America.
True.
Look at multiple people, multiple races, multiple backgrounds, because that's just what makes us all better.
Absolutely. Do you find that the industry is becoming more diverse over time?
I think it wants to be. It is trying to do that. People are searching harder for people. They're not just calling people that they know immediately. So I definitely think it's getting better. We're not done, but we're getting better. Progress is a slow journey, but at least we are progressing forward.
Right. Well, that's great to hear that we're moving in the right direction.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, Brian, just to change gears a little bit, I'd love to talk a bit about your financial success as a producer on Broadway, because it's really quite remarkable. Broadway is notoriously difficult for recoupment, yet Othello saw 150% recoupment. Is that correct?
That is correct. That is correct.
So what set your producing and creative teams apart that really helped you to achieve such a milestone?
Oh my gosh. It's the properties. It's the properties that are selected. The piano lesson, August Wilson's The Piano Lesson, when I did that with Samuel L. Jackson and John David Washington and Danielle Brooks. That was directed by LaTanya Richardson Jackson. And that revival broke the Barrymore box office record. Also became the highest grossing revival of that particular season. And then Othello. It was really the combination of the wonderful, wonderful talents of Denzel Washington and the wonderful talents of Jake Gyllenhaal coming together under the Tony Award-winning direction of Kenny Leon, again, back at the Barrymore Theater. I think there's a theme there with the Barrymore. But putting all of that trio together is really what made the success of Othello happen. Denzel Washington has been on Broadway numerous times. He is a thespian. He is a man of the theater. Jake Gyllenhaal, been on Broadway many times, another man of the theater. I think it was the rare occurrence of them coming together, of joining forces to do this story that had not been told on Broadway in over 40 years of Othello, directed by Kenny Leon. And I think that was the key, that was the universal key to success, was the uniqueness of the combination of actor and director.
I'm picking up. Sorry, Rachel. I want to break in here for a quick second, because I can hear and I can see in Nice Guy community, if you're listening in audio, which is pretty much everybody, you're not seeing the expressions on Brian's face. And to tell you that he is passionate about this career that he has is an understatement for sure. But I'm really curious, Brian, if theater wasn't in your career or in your journey, what else would you be doing?
I would be a trial attorney. I tell everybody that all the time. I would be a trial attorney because I love the law, right? The law is a beautiful thing when there's a law, and there's a beautiful thing in how it gets interpreted, and it's a beautiful thing around a story that's created to favor one side or the other. And it's all, to me, trials are all about the story. What are you saying? It doesn't, most of the time, it's not really about what happened. It's how you're telling the story of what you feel you want people to believe and how you convey it.
So in other words, you'd be in theater, you'd just be in law and theater. Because really, isn't that what a trial is? It's just a Broadway show put on by an attorney.
Have you guys all seen Chicago the musical?
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
yes.
yeah. We actually went and saw that on Broadway together back in like 2008.
And then I saw it with your mom in Baltimore also. And Gammy, I saw in Baltimore. Man, so many good ideas.
Wow. I love Baltimore, by the by.
Thank you.
Oh, thanks. That's our stomping grounds.
Are you from California originally? Is that what I heard?
I'm originally from California. Yeah.
Where?
Orange County. I grew up in Orange County, then moved into Diamond Bar. Mm-hmm.
I got it. Okay, great. Well, just south of Santa Barbara myself, a little town called Ojai. I don't know if you've ever been here.
Oh, yeah, I know Ojai.
Love it. Great community theater here. Rachel had a chance to visit, and we went to a community theater show. Not quite the same as Broadway, but it is good to watch these aspiring young artists do their thing.
You know what I love about community theater is that a theater is a theater. And the thing about community theater, there's no pressure in it. and it's just joy and love, and it's in its purest form. So community theaters around the world are needed, and they're great places to absorb theater.
Agreed. Sorry, Rachel, didn't mean to break your stride there.
No, that's
as
great.
Brian's talking, I'm reading like his body language and things, and I just want to make sure it's getting across to the nice guy community as well. So just wanted to throw that in there.
No, that's fabulous. Brian, I wanted to see Othello. You could not get a ticket to that show. I mean, on my theater app, it was like $500 for the resale tickets. It was like you could not get in.
It was really remarkable. I mean, I tell you, when I was raising money for Othello, I had people who would come to me and say, it's going to be the most successful thing ever. And other people who said, looking at the recoupment chart, no, it's not possible. On paper, no one predicted this success. We have these recoupment charts that we run for every single show. It's a normal pro forma for like any investment. And this one said it was not going to recoup until the end of the show, until the end of the run. And it's literally, they went on like hotcakes. They just kept going. And so it was just the magnetism, and that's what the market was going to bear. And so my job is to be financially responsible for the show and be a good steward of my investors' dollars. So I had to return their capital. I was very lucky to do that.
Are you thinking related to your lead players in the game, the marketing behind it, the buzz on the street? I think that marketing can only get you so far. You actually have to have a good show, right?
100%. I don't think there's one. I think of it as a chain. The chain is only as strong as its next link. Right. That's it. Right. And every single department has to be working in tandem in order to row in the right direction. So the marketing plan, it's about the marketing. It's about the casting. It's about the direction. It's about the producing team. It's about the general management office. It's about the actors on stage. It's about the crew backstage. It's the ushers when they come into the theater, and you as a patron have paid your money and you walk in the door. If you have a good experience from an usher, you're like, oh my gosh, wonderful. The ushers are the first time that someone has an interaction with the show. Right. So when your ushers are friendly and they're nice and they say, welcome, please come to your seat, enjoy the show, you're open and you sit there and you sit in your seat and you're like, oh, I can't wait to see it. The ushers created that. The ushers open the door for you to be have a good theatrical experience. And then the actors take over and they do their job on the stage. And so there isn't one part that makes it more successful than the other. You need all of the parts. You need all of the team members.
Rachel, just like a good podcast, you need all the good players. I'm just an anchor weighing you down right now. Sorry. All right, Rachel, you go. I got so many more things I want to ask Brian.
I know. I have so many questions for Brian as well. So, Brian, the average person walking into the theater probably has no idea that behind the scenes there's 27,000 cogs in this machine. Is that right?
That is absolutely correct. 16 unions inside every Broadway house. Oh yes. Gosh. Oh yes. A lot of people.
Yes. Absolutely. So do you have any advice for not only aspiring producers, but maybe just aspiring theater artists who want to be a cog in that machine?
Oh, I love it. A cog in that machine. So I would say learn as much as possible. Learn as much as possible, because actors should always learn to be a director. A director should learn to be a producer. A choreographer, a dancer should become a choreographer. Choreographer become a director. You're in that cycle, right? Because once you learn the aspects of the building. And remember, I just said 16 different unions. I have been an usher. I have been a dresser. I know what it's like to load in a theater. I know what it's like to load out a theater. And all of these different aspects make me a better producer, because I'm able to go, okay, what is it that you need in the hair department? How much space do you need in the wardrobe department? How much space do you need in the electric department? What do you need for the sound department? It just makes you a better cog, to be as many places and at least be able to touch it and go, I understand what that is. It's not just a line item. It's a person and it's a department, and they have needs, and you have to think about their needs in the totality of a cog. So, yeah.
Right. And that's great advice, because I think sometimes as artists, we're looking for the most direct path to the end. We're an actor, so I go to the audition and I get the job. Or, I'm a dancer, so I go to dance class and, whatnot. And it's really great to hear from somebody who's really, kind of at the top of your game, that you've sat in all of these artistic spaces, and it's really all of these little pieces together have led you to be who you are today.
I love you saying that, but Rachel, I want to go back to something you just said. It's like if you're an actor, you go to the audition. If you're a dancer, you go to your dance class, right? And you get the job. But it's all about the process. It's the process of it, right? It's the bulk of the work of a dancer, yes, comes when you have a dance job, but that's not where the work happens. The work happens in the dance class. The work happens at the bar, BARRE. That's where the work happens. The work for the actor doesn't happen it doesn't happen just in the audition room. It happens in all the preparation and all the acting classes you're going to and the voice classes you're going to. And so it's all about the journey of getting to where you want to be, but you have to enjoy the process of it because it's just as important as the destination.
One of the things that Rachel had said in her last question, which is really interesting, again, because I'm watching facial expressions, I'm watching you, your responses, and when she said at the top of your game, it was one of those things where I didn't feel like you took that in as someone that, I mean, I know you're extremely humble. I've done a lot of research on you. I've seen YouTube videos of you. You deflect a lot of that because you still feel, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'd just love to hear your comments. You feel like I'm just Brian Moreland here. I have so much more that I want to accomplish in my life. And I feel like I'd love to hear what your thoughts are when somebody says you're at the top of your game, because I'm always wondering what somebody's, how somebody interprets that.
You're right. I don't know what that means to be quote at the top of the game. I still wake up. I still call investors. I still ask for money. I still beg for projects to get rights for projects. I still pitch myself in order to get talent to say yes. I still go to my theater owners and ask them for buildings. So I don't know what it means to be at the quote top, because it's, for me, my day-to-day work life has not changed. And my workload is the same. I still have to find a show. I still have to find people who will believe in the show and believe it and entrust me with their money so that I can do this crazy thing called Broadway. And none of them care that I had the most successful revival on Broadway last season. They don't care about that.
But it doesn't hurt to have Denzel on speed dial on your phone, though, right? It's gotta feel good.
That does feel good. But I will tell you the best part about Denzel Washington. It's in the conversations that he never shares with the general public. It's the best conversations. And Jake has the best conversations that you would have with your choose the friendliest, warmest, most honest, transparent person in your life. Those are the conversations I have with them. And that feels really great.
When you do something with them, whether it's at the theater and just having a conversation, or you're going out for a drink, or maybe having a bite at a cafe, like what generally does the conversation revolve around? I know that's hard to be so specific if you've known them for years, but what would you talk about?
Everything. The weather, life.
Okay.
What the show, if it was right after the show, what the show was like.
Right. What
rehearsal was like for the day. What other type of work they're interested in. Jake is a foodie. And so Jake loves to talk about food. So we've had a meal where we talk about the next 2 to 3 meals that we're going to have at the actual meal. Denzel's very philosophical. How are you improving your life? How can I help you improve your life?
Seems like those would be questions that he would ask. And he does seem like, even though I've only seen him on screen or stage, it seems like he genuinely is an authentic guy through and through.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So that's what we talk about. They're deep conversations. They're regular conversations. And by regular, I mean they're human beings. They're right. These great big giants of talent, but they're human beings, and they have feelings, thoughts, wants, desires, pet peeves, like everything that we have.
Tell me about your signature cocktail, Brian. What is it? If you were to make a signature, if you were to have to go home and make a signature cocktail right now, what would it be?
It would be a Hendrix martini, straight up shaken with a twist.
Gin man. Nice.
Yes.
Rachel's, I believe, is a lemon drop. Is that still your drink, Rachel?
I do really enjoy a lemon drop. Absolutely.
I've moved on to old fashions. I really like Woodford Reserve, so I'm definitely an old fashioned.
Oh,
guy.
Woodford Reserve's very good.
Nice. Rachel, I think we have time for just one or two more questions. Do you have a couple queued up that you have for Brian?
Yeah, absolutely. Brian, is there anything you'd like to tell our audience about your upcoming production of Joe Turner's Come and Gone?
Oh my gosh, please come and see August Wilson's Joe Turner's Come and Gone, being directed by the incomparable Debbie Allen, who just received an honorary Oscar for her lifetime achievement in the entertainment business. She's also the executive director of all the Grey's Anatomies that you watch on television. It's going to star Taraji P. Henson. You might know Taraji's work from Hidden Figures or Straw or Empire or the Color Purple movie, musical, Cedric the Entertainer, Tony Award winner Ruben Santiago Hudson, Joshua Boone, Maya Boyd. The cast is endless. The costume design is being done by Paul Tazwell. So if you saw Wicked the movie and you loved the costumes, that man is doing it, who made history as the first Black man to receive an Oscar in costume design. We have the first Black woman to receive an Oscar for hair design, Mia Neal, doing the hair for this show. Tony Award winner David Gallows doing the sets. It just goes on and on. This show of Joe Turner's Come and Gone, it's an absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous show. It's August Wilson's most favorite play ever. I know that from his widow, Costanza Romero. We know it from August's interviews. Please come and see Joe Turner's Come and Gone. It's going to the Barrymore Theater, which is it was the original home of Joe Turner's Come and Gone. And it's a story of redemption, of family, of faith, and love. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous show. Please come and see Joe Turner's Come and Gone.
Wow, Brian, really sounds like you all have assembled the A-team for this one. That is just so exciting.
Thank you.
I myself will definitely be purchasing a ticket. I'm very excited to come and see it.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, Rachel, we know people too,
Totally.
We know people too.
You do know people.
Brian.
Hey, well, we got to support the theater,
Yeah,
Please.
Totally.
Whether you support Joe Turner's Come and Gone or another show on Broadway, just support Broadway. Broadway needs all of you in order to stay alive. So please come and see us.
Brian, so appreciate you sharing your wisdom, your expertise, and your production with us. Thank you for sharing with Rachel and myself and our Nice Guy community. And Rachel, thanks for participating in our interview today as well. Thanks, guys. Very, very much appreciate you being here.
Thank you all for having me.
Of course. Thank you.
Nice Guy community, never underestimate the power of nice or the power of a really good theater show. Special thanks to Brian Moreland. All of his information will be right there in the show notes, including Joe Turner's Come and Gone performance link. Steve O'Ryan, go ahead and take us out of here.
For the Nice Guys on Business, I'm Steve O'Brien. Thanks for listening. Bartender, Doug here's going to have a Cosmo, and Strickland is going to have a Fireball on the rocks. Not the little glass. Yeah, the big one, the 24-ouncer. Oh, and they'd both like a little umbrella. Just give me the bottle and charge them as much as you can.